Um, can you hear me? I don't think I can hear you.
Oh, I was muted.
Okay, I was like, I don't think. Hi, how are you? I was like, I don't think I can hear you. I don't know if it was me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MoeGo Live, where we host live interviews with experts in the pet industry. If there's anybody you want to hear from or any topic that you want us to cover, please let us know. I'm MoeGo Nicole, and I will be your host today, and I'm excited to introduce Natalia from Dog Fashion Grooming in
Hi, how are
California.
you guys?
Thank you for joining for us today, and take a
Of
minute and
course.
introduce yourself.
Of course. So, hi, my name is Natalia. I'm from Dog Fashion Mobile Grooming. I was on HBO Max Hot Dog episode 4, and I did win Best in Show, which was really scary, but we'll get back to that. And I think most of you guys have seen me at the expos with Fresh Years, MoeGo, and Groomer's Choice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we have a bunch of questions, and for anybody who's tuning in, please throw any questions or comments you have in the chat, and we will either answer them in real time or wait till the end and answer them. But
Yes.
first off, we are going to go into what were you doing before you got into grooming?
So that story is kind of interesting because I did start grooming when I was 14.
Wow.
So I was pretty much in middle school doing, I don't know what middle school kids do nowadays. Well, I do know because I have two teenagers. But what's it called? I was pretty much just wanting to do something for fun. It was nothing like, oh, I want to work. And like, it was just like, I want to work and like have some kind of side money in a way. Oh, do you guys hear MoeGo right now? Sorry. So what's it called? But yeah, so I was just grooming on the weekends, sometimes after school. Obviously school came first. And then what's it called? And yeah, that's pretty much what I was doing before grooming.
Wow. And then, so how did you get into grooming? Why did you choose to start grooming? Did you like watch something? Have you always liked pets?
You know what? Now that I was, because this life kind of made me think about what I was gonna say. And last night when I was kind of sleeping, I did think about the fact that I remember, so I wasn't allowed to have dogs growing up, but I did have stuffed animals, and my stuffed animals were treated like if they were dogs. So I remember, like, I had this little doggy, like it was brown, and the sad part about that one is that I kind of left it in a bus because I don't know if all you guys know this about me, but I'm actually born in Mexico. And I got here when I was 11. So I remember we used to have to take the bus to school, and I just remember, like, I left my little osito in the bus. And I just remember that was the most devastating thing I ever felt as a kid. Like, I left my dog in the bus. And I think that's where it started, like, kind of like, I think I always loved the fact that to have a dog, but I was just like, obviously, for financial reasons, we couldn't afford to have a dog, which is understandable. But I did have a stuffed animal, and I feel like that's where I realized, like, oh crap, I really love dogs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get into the meat of today's MoeGo Live. How has technology improved your overall business?
So I know a lot of people are trying to refuse to move to technology, but as a businesswoman, I honestly think that you need technology to be able to grow anything. We're in 2022, everything's run through technology. So even just like in school, like now you have Zoom classes for colleges, and right now we don't even have to be together, and we're literally doing a live
Great
from
point.
across the country.
Yeah.
So I do think technology is a big it's a big change that if you are a business owner and you want to have a better experience for your groomers and stuff like that, it's a jump that you have to make, and because you don't want to be left behind. You don't want to be left behind, because I feel like technology is just moving and moving and moving. So I do think technology has helped my business grow in many different ways, kind of like, obviously I use MoeGo. But what's it called? So MoeGo pretty much helps me confirm appointments, helps me have a better communication between me, my groomers, and the client, between me, my assistant, and the client. So I'm always on track of everything because of technology. If we did not have that technology, it would be very hard to even keep up with like 100 messages a day.
Yeah. I guess what were you using before you got any type of like MoeGo or whatever you were using prior to that? Or was it just wow.
A pen and a notebook.
So were you manually
Everything,
reminding, putting things?
everything. A pen and a notebook. A pen and a notebook. Writing contacts information on my phone. Having everything on. Like honestly, like I wish I would have. I wish I would have thought about this, but I should have showed you guys my old before MoeGo, and I don't know how I did it. Like it was too much work.
Well, did you have right now you are up to 2 vans, correct?
Yes.
Getting ready
So,
for a third.
and the third one should be here by the end of December.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
And when you were using pen and paper, was that just when you had 1 van?
Just when I had one band and it was just me. And I could tell you
Okay.
right now that just me, one band, and it was a lot of work, miscommunication between me and the client, writing, even just writing the number wrong from the client and not being able to reach that client because I didn't get the right information from the number. That was just like devastating because then I wouldn't have the right tools to follow up with appointments or make sure, hey, I'm on my way, I'm just calling to confirm your appointment. So I would pretty
Mhm.
much lose that appointment just because I did not get that right number off the bat.
Yeah. So that whole person was just gone, that customer, that pet.
Yes. Another thing is that, so the fact that I have dyslexia did have a lot of issues with writing addresses, getting the name, the even just simple things as getting the right name of the dog, how they spell it. So I have some clients who spell Coco with two K's. I have
Mhm.
some that spell with one K and one C, two C's. So even just little details like that, I feel like they make a client feel kind of neglected in a way, or kind of
Absolutely.
like you can't get my name right, you can't spell it right. So a lot of clients have a lot of different last names that I have never heard in my life, and the fact that they can input that like information for me and every single time have the right spelling, it's just out of another world. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah. And then I guess since you're a mobile groomer, and you have a mobile grooming business, what were you doing to map out your routes previously?
Why do you have to put me on the spot, Nicole?
I'm I'm trying to make it so that, new groomers or people who
You're like killing me right now. Okay, so honestly, my routing was a joke. I think sometimes I would be driving 40 minutes on each appointment because
wow.
even though there's one city, La Puente, to Glendora, they're not that far apart. Just that driving back and forth, like back and forth, because I couldn't route it properly,
Mhm.
would pretty much waste me at least like 3 hours of my day. That's two appointments.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Wow.
I
Okay.
know. That's why I told you, you're putting me on the spot.
Sorry. Growing pains. It's growing pains.
No,
Don't
I like it. Come on, keep putting me on the spot. Keep asking me questions. I'm an
um
open book.
I guess another thing is, could you maintain the same amount of clients or customers or pets, or, did you increase your appointments? Did you increase the number of pets or the pet experience?
I think I did increase the. I'm sorry, that's my phone. I think I did increase the experience for a customer because MoeGo has like little birthday reminders that are super sweet.
Mhm.
Um, the fact that it made me organize myself a little bit more with colors and with um with many different things, it did make me look more professional. It helped me just overall, like it helped it, like it was like a 360. Like it was scary, I'm not gonna lie, because like you're just like, is this service really gonna work, like, or is it just, are they just in it for the
A lot of
money, like
trust.
it's kind of scary because it's a big commitment to try to like spend like what's it called, the money, but I mean, like it's worth it. It's very worth it.
Okay, we'll jump to the next question. How did you attract customers as a new groomer, and how do you continuously attract? You're getting another van, you're gonna
Yeah.
want to keep growing. How do you do that?
I honestly think it has all came down to honesty, and every single time you get that dog in the table, even if it's from a Chihuahua to a standard poodle to a, I don't know, to a mastiff, whatever it is, I feel like giving your 100 to that one dog will speak more than Instagram, will speak more than Facebook, will speak more than any social media or anything you could do. So word to mouth was pretty much how I started, making sure that I understood my clients, like so I work with a lot of aggressive dogs, and I know that's very not common for groomers. Like most groomers neglect, or not neglect, but they rather refuse, which is understandable because it's not for everybody,
Hmm.
for sure.
Absolutely.
But me starting off, I couldn't say no to anything, right? So me starting off, I was only like what, six, because I started like pretty much my own thing when I was like 16. So
Wow.
me starting off, I couldn't refuse anything. It was just like either you make it happen or you make it happen. There was no quitting. Then again, I don't know if you know this, Nicole, but I did get pregnant when I was 16.
I did not.
So I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old. So you're so young, you're still a kid, you have no choice than to work things out. So I literally got so good at rehabbing dogs for grooming. I have some
Mhm.
dogs that literally have to get put down to sleep. Like literally, like they have to knock them out so they can even go to the vet.
Wow.
Those dogs literally jump in my van. They don't move. They already know, like, oh, she's gonna put a muzzle on me, and
Yeah.
they literally work with me now. Like, it's been a whole process. I work with a rehab, what's it called, a rehab company where they do a lot of training. He works with a lot of pets that actually, by court, they need to get training because they have done some crazy stuff, kind of like kill another dog, bit a kid and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And we work with those dogs, like me and my team, Reynaldo, Jamie, like we work with those dogs. So we literally, so I made a foundation where I want to open my doors to anyone who's willing to listen. If
Yeah.
mine is willing to listen, I'm willing to work with your dog.
Hmm.
I'm willing to, if you're gonna be committed as much as I am gonna be to your dog, then we're gonna work this out and we're gonna make this, I mean, we're gonna help your pup be more understanding about that this shouldn't be scary. It sounds like the sound of the dryer, the water, it shouldn't be scary. It should be a spot day.
It should be a spa day. Exactly. Yeah.
So
How, I guess, since you had to take every single dog, whether that be an aggressive dog or not, did you just acquire those skills, through time, or was it kind of just something that you were born with?
I honestly, I feel like sometimes I think you're just born with it, cause I had dogs that start acting like super crazy, and the moment I touch them and I talk to them, they like literally just like they melt down, like kind of like, oh, like okay, I'm fine, like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna die today, and it's like So honestly, I have a lot of dogs that have been kicked out of different grooming places, and they're probably our best dogs now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's get to the fun stuff. HBO Max hot dog. Can you tell us how you got on? What did you do? All the things.
Yeah, so I believe I can't remember his name, Daniel. Daniel, a producer. I don't know if he's a producer or he was just casting people. And I believe he reached out for Hot Dog, but I actually had someone else reach out first for there was another show called Pooch Perfect. So I was between those two. I didn't know which one I was going to pick. Obviously, Hot Dog asked for less days of you, and
Uh-huh.
because you have two kids, um,
A lot.
what's it called? Like, it was better just to go with the with HBO that was requiring last days of me. But they reached out to me. It was so scary. I did an interview. What's it called? I literally was like, oh my God, like I don't know, they're gonna pick me. There's so many good groomers out there. Like, am I even worth coming out on it? Like, you
Oh,
start doubting
absolutely.
yourself. Like
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. So pretty much next they did end up calling me back, and I honestly I remember running around screaming like, mom, they called me back, they called me back. So an interesting story. And then once I get there, I end up competing with against Scott, like the king of terriers. I was like, okay, I'm done. Like I shouldn't even like that's it. I might as well let him take the win. Uh, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna give him my 100, like I always do on the table with my regular dogs, and see what happens. It was a really nice experience. Everybody was super nice. Like, and I'm not just saying this. Like, everybody generally was very nice, very attentive. They made me feel very comfortable. They made me feel like a star. But yeah, so it was a very good experience. That I don't regret. It was pushing me off my comfort zone. Just this life is literally pushing me out of my comfort zone. So I feel like the more I do this, the more like I just push my. I was very nervous before this, by the way, Nicole.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great.
But yeah, so it was really good. What else would you want me to get into detail with the hot dog?
I guess you got best in show, correct?
I did
Do you
get
wanna
that.
do you
So,
wanna walk us through, I guess, um the competition, like how they judged, all of that stuff? What you
so
walked away
um,
with?
so all the groomers watching, Jess Rona was the judge, and that was intense because she's top notch, and my respects for Jess Rona. So when I obviously when you have Jess Rona as a judge, you just like you better like give it your all. So I think the first dog I had didn't have much hair to work with, so I kind of like just did sideburns and just a little fun like cowboy look and stuff like that, which Scott, obviously king of terriers, ended up winning because his dog just looked beautiful. His dog looked beautiful, so there was no competition there. But then we got to the second round, which the one that was the most important. The second round was pretty much creating, and I always been into more of a creative person. Like I liked, I mean, I always been an overthinker, outside the box. Like, I mean, my hair says it all.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So so that's when I had a lot of fun. I just remember I was like sweating, like I was like, oh my god, I was like, I'm not gonna look at Jessica's or Scott dog. I'm just gonna do my thing and not worry about anything else. So when we were done with the dogs, what's it called? And then we went on the back room to have a snack and stuff like that before we came back in, so they could let us know who won. I just remember that I was like, oh my God, Scott's dog and Jessica's dog look so good. Like, I'm done. I'm done. The moment I walked in there, because you walk in with your dogs and then you see
Mhm.
them. Um, so the moment that they said I won, girl, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. Like, no way.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, so I ended up winning. What's it called? it was just like a dream come true. Like I was just like super super excited. I feel like when the fact that I won, oh my god, you're gonna make me cry. So I think the fact that I won was because of my kids.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm such a baby.
No, they're your motivation. They get you out of bed. They make you want to do more. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think that that was the most what's it called, that was the most, like, I can't talk about my kids because I get emotional.
It's totally fine. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, so I honestly, I think that's the only thing that got me going. It was just like, damn, like my kids are gonna know that no matter what happens, no matter what life throws at you, like you could win. You could win.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, I promise I won't ask any more tear-jerking questions. I'm actually gonna switch over and ask,
Yeah,
some of
go
the
ahead.
audience questions.
Okay, let's do it.
So we have Jenny. When hiring an employee, do you prefer someone with experience already, or are you training them?
Jenny. That's my girl right there. So pretty much so Ray and Jamie have no experience, but they have a soft spot in my heart. But I would definitely recommend just getting someone with experience because you don't have to start from scratch.
Mhm.
It's a lot of work. Like it takes a lot of patience, a lot of work, but Ray and Jamie like are like I I don't mind doing the hard work for them, but most people, and I know for a fact, like as now I have more experience, hiring someone who already has experience, it's a lot easier than hiring someone from scratch, because there's a lot of I think there's a misconception that a lot of people could become groomers within a year or two. I personally think it like it takes you 5 to 6 years to even have it down.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly,
Yeah.
I think it takes 5 to 6 years to learn body language, behavior, like so
Mhm.
many different things. Like even just like dealing with different personalities, different type of hairs. Like yeah, I would say 5 to 6 years, like till you feel like you're 100%. But practice makes perfect.
Makes sense. Okay. All right, we have another one from Jenny. When is it okay to say no to an inquiry?
Um so like we say no to Jenny. Can you explain that a little bit more? Kind of like
I think she means, so say you have a customer that you just don't want to take anymore and you just are like, no, I don't want to take your dog for whatever reason.
I would say that I give every new customer a try if they're willing and if they accept my terms. So
Hmm.
if you're willing to work with my terms and you're willing to you agree to my prices and everything, then let's give it a try. I think for a fact we had to let go of maybe 5 6 different clients, um just because so one of them came out screaming, and I think like if you're gonna be disrespectful, then we can't do that because it's mutual respect.
Hmm.
If we're gonna show up there and you had already agreed to our prices and you're gonna try to switch it up, I think that's for sure a no. So
Yeah.
that's what I would put. But I think I do give everybody one try. Like I think don't close my doors to anyone. I give everybody a try. And then once that first appointment or that second appointment happens and there's a bad experience there, then we'll for sure let you go.
And I guess, how do you communicate that? Like once,
I would pretty much end up just saying something where like I don't think we're the best fit for you, but I'm pretty sure there's someone out there that maybe could accommodate to any request you're required. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Handle it with respect
Of
and
course. And
find.
even that one client that was like screaming, saying stuff to us, like more than respect, I no disrespect on our end, because I feel like we have to be professionals. Like if you call Apple customer service and you're screaming at them, you're not gonna like get to
Yeah,
their level.
anyway.
No. So we
No,
like we're Apple.
that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have another one from Erica. How do you go about pricing and working with pet parents to make sure they take this seriously when working with troubled pets?
Okay. So, one thing that I for sure do is that I'll just be very honest. I'll be like, like let's say, Bella. Bella did not, I'm just throwing a name. There's a lot of Bellas, so that's the,
Don't
so
be taken
I'll be
personally.
like, so Bella did not like the nails. Sometimes dogs end up scratching you up, and I'll straight up show them like I'm all scratched up. Like I tried my best. She was very stressed out. She did not like the nails one bit. um we could actually make a plan for you and me to work with Bella. So what we could do, I could come back every 2 weeks, get her nails done, and just wait 6 weeks after for the grooming. But every 2 weeks, I want to come here and do my nail service so your pet gets used to it. If it's something that you're not willing to work with, which I understand, and there's no judgment on my end, but
Yeah,
this has to be a two-way street. If you're not willing to put your effort, like your 100% effort, then I can't give you my 100% effort as a groomer. And
yeah.
we need to become a team so Bella can have a better experience.
Hmm.
So I always give them the option to know, like, this is how it's going to work out. And if it's not something that you're looking for, then I'm not the groomer for you, or we're not the team for you, because it's a two-way thing. Like, kind of like when you take your kids to school and your kid is not listening to the teacher or something, you pretty much get to the point where the the teacher's like, hey, we need to be a team, like we need
Hmm.
to work things out. So it's the same concept. I always try use different, like, examples for different kind of people. So the one that I usually do when let's say the dog is aggressive and he's matted, I send pictures. I literally sometimes even call owners to come to the van real quick just so they can see how they're acting. And
Yeah,
once they realize, like, oh my god, like my like this, because I feel like sometimes people be like, oh, that's not how my dog acts. Obviously he's doesn't act like that at home,
yeah,
because
it's different.
you're not dematting him. But once he's in the van, he's like a whole different person. So I try to communicate as much as I can and break it down like if you were talking to a 5-year-old, because technically clients don't know anything about grooming. So
Yeah.
we can expect them to understand us. We can expect them to be as knowledgeable as we are. Does
Hmm.
that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And then do you charge extra when, say,
we do.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we do. Depending on the level of how the dog is, we go from 15 to $55. Because sometimes we do have to add a whole hour to the appointment that should have been an hour and a half, so it becomes a 2.5 hour and a little tiny dog.
Completely, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, another one from Erica. Have you had any formal training when working with troubled pets?
I actually had. There's a lot of stuff that you could go to. That's what's so important, that everybody goes to expos, because when you go to expos, or even let's say that you don't go to expos, right, you should definitely take some training classes. And there's a lot of places that even give you training for pets at online and stuff like that. So you should definitely, so you learn how body language works and stuff like that. So I do recommend that everybody takes training classes or some type of class at the expos where they'll teach you from other people. I should have a class, but
Mhm.
someday. What's it called? Where they teach you how to handle dogs. Ask. I don't know if you have any groomer friends. Like, ask them, like, what, like, hey, I'm dealing with this dog. What should I do? Like, let's say the dog's acting really crazy for the nails. Like, hey, do you have a hammock? No, I don't. Okay, you need to get one. You need to get one so you can hang him, and he'll eventually get used to it. So it's just like, I feel like having friends and going to the expos is very important, and paying for those classes. I know they're expensive, but they'll pay off in the long run.
Absolutely. Okay, we have one more question from the audience. This isn't pulling who it is. But how did you get your first van?
So that's interesting. So the first van I got was pretty much through my dad. What's it called? So we pretty much found like a very old van, what's it called, and my dad was like, are you will, because that's when I was pregnant for my daughter. My dad was like, are you willing to put the effort, the time? And I was like, yes, like I'm willing to do that. Why? Because there's diapers and formula to do, and I'm like
Expensive.
16, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much. So I would say that my dad and my mom had a lot to do with helping me, what's it called. But when I say helping me, it's not like they literally did everything. It was more like they gave me a budget of like $3,000, figure it out.
Yeah.
So I had really like, I had low quality machines, scissors, like what's it called? I was only able to afford shampoos. I was only like, my van was pretty much like really old and like not like at the best conditions. So it just little by little, by working and making, just investing all the back is where I finally started getting a van that was suitable, and it was
Hmm.
like perfect.
Wow, that is pretty inspiring.
Thank you.
Okay. Back to a couple more of the questions that I had for you.
Okay.
Tips and tricks for new groomers. This
Okay.
can be anything.
So, tips. I would say be the best bather you could be. Don't worry about cutting hair. Be a bather.
Wow,
And
I didn't expect that.
yeah, second, be get start like working for someone and stay there for at least 5 years. 5 years, 5 to 6 years, I would say. But for sure, be the best bather you could be. That's like my number one tip. Another one, don't feel like you know it all. Keep learning. Just keep
Mhm.
learning. Absorb anything, like anything anyone tells you, just take it in. Just take it in, because that's the only way you're going to get better at something. If you let someone criticize something off you that you're not doing well, you're going to get better if you keep like just absorb it. Like you don't have to absorb the negativity that it comes from sometimes, but you do have to absorb what like if someone's telling you like let's say an issue that I have, what's it called, a client who like, you take too long to reply. I could take it as a very negative thing, but it does break my heart. But at the same time, like that breakage is gonna build you up, because like guess what, now I'm gonna make sure I don't take more than 15 minutes to reply to a client.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely. It pushes you.
yes,
Constructive criticism.
constructive. It might come from a wrong place sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's, you should still look at it and be like, okay, maybe they're right. Like take a look in the mirror and be like, you know what, like maybe they shouldn't have said it that way, but I'm gonna try to like be better.
Yeah. Anything else that I guess, when you first got that van and you wish somebody had told you before you got into grooming, or like the first week that you started your own business, what would you have wished that you would have known?
I think I would have wished to know like how important it is to have a good pair of shears. Oh my god, a good pair of shears will definitely save you. And another thing that I would definitely recommend is that don't the only comments that for sure I would always get those comments like, when are you gonna get a real job? When are you gonna get a real job? I feel like if you are doing something you love, it shouldn't matter what anybody has to say. Like if they're not gonna, if it's not like a very good comment, then maybe just let it go. Because I think that most of the time I used to feel like well, I'm washing dogs and I'm like cleaning poop all the time, like maybe this is not a job, and it is a job and it's something that I love doing. So I would recommend just zoom out anyone that tells you like, oh, when are you gonna get a real job, or oh, you just wash dogs. Like what do you mean I just wash dogs? I make them look beautiful.
Wow. Okay. And anything else?
um I think that would be it. I think those are the main things that for sure, for me, as my experience, I'm pretty sure there's other people that have other experiences, but I feel like those were the two things that like got to me the most. That I didn't have a good pair of shears, and that I would hear comments like, "Oh wow, you're just a groomer," and it would get to my head that maybe I should be doing something better or something different.
Well, thank goodness you didn't listen.
I know.
Okay, here's another one. This is this is about MoeGo. What is your favorite thing about MoeGo or favorite feature? Let us.
Lily. No, I'm just kidding.
A lot of
I'm
people say
just
that.
kidding, Monica. I love you too. I think my favorite feature of MoeGo would definitely be the intake form.
Okay.
The intake form.
So there might be some viewers who don't know about like how that works. Can you just explain it really high level as if I
So
didn't know?
an intake form is as clients want, like you said, new clients want to book an appointment. When you have an intake form, it's pretty much a link that fills all the information that you require for them to fill out, questions you might want to ask them, birthdays, pictures, when was the last time they got professionally groomed, like any information you wish to get down from that one new client. You would pretty much send them an intake form, then that they click on the link and they fill all the information for you, so then everything gets transferred to MoeGo.
Very nice.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite feature.
Then you're not spelling any dog's names,
uh,
any
or
getting
spelling
numbers
free.
wrong.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that is all the questions I have. I think that's all the audiences as well. Just doing a quick brief. Is there anything you want to leave us with?
I would say that just be you. Who cares about anything else? And don't compare yourself to anyone else. It's okay. Just be you. It's you versus you.
It's you versus you.
It's you
Awesome.
versus, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I know you're super busy, have
Thank
two fans, have kids, busy all the time.
I literally humbled a dog before I did the live.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And for everybody viewing, this will be recorded and I'll send it out to everybody who registered, but it will also be on our YouTube page, our Facebook page, and on our website. So before we go, Natalia, how can everybody find you, follow you, tell you?
So you guys could find me on Instagram at Dog Fashion Grooming. What's it called? And then you guys could like DM me if you guys have any questions. If you guys follow MoeGo, pretty much sometimes we post together. So
Mhm.
you guys can just follow me on Facebook too. I think I have a lot of rumors, so follow me on Facebook with my name, Natalia Flores, but mainly it's my Instagram.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you again. It was so
Thank
nice seeing
you.
you.
Pasadena.
Yes, awesome.
All right.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a good day. Bye bye.